I've been talking about the difference between older and elders. I just read this thing recently where in 1900 in the United States, the average the life expectancy was 46 years old. Right now, it's something like 83 years old. So people are living longer, and that means to me that maybe nature's trying to create elders rather than olders. The difference, as far as I'm concerned, is everybody gets older, but not everyone gets wiser. And the elders are those who get wiser from their own failures and their own woundings and their own awakenings. And so, right now, if you look at the incredible broken systems of in terms of politics and economics, with the growing disparity between the richer and the poor, you can see that we are kind of now become a global tribe that lacks elders, that lacks the wisdom of those who understand what needs to be preserved and what can be let go of. I mean, elders, the idea of the elder is someone becomes able to serve things beyond themselves. The beautiful Native American idea that the elders are thinking 7 generations down the line, that means they're considering things that they will never see, that the sense of self, the little self, has diminished, and the capacity to kind of imagine great things and hold on to the ideals of humanity have replaced the feelings of neediness and simple fear. As far as what that path is, so for me, I tie it into this idea of an initiatory path, the seeds of which are planted in the soul before we're born. And then I like the idea that I find in old stories that the obstacles and the difficulties we encounter in life are not there to break us down. They're there to break the ego down, to let the deep self that's inside everybody and the deep soul become more conscious. And then that allows us to begin the path of living authentically, which automatically becomes the path that leads not just to growing older, but to growing elder. And so I'm working, we have a workshop coming up. I think Corin mentioned it. It's about initiation. I'm calling it initiations of the deep self and initiations of the soul. I think they're slightly different. So there's some psychological factors that become involved as the older becomes elder. And there's definitely this idea of being aligned with this inner thread that's been there all along. And so that leads me to one other idea I want to say. There's so much to say about elders, but I found this one tribe in Africa, or I found writings about them, and I was stopped cold reading this one paragraph where an elder being interviewed said that when we are initiating young people, we are waking the elder in them. So that tells me that the inner elder, the inner sage, is supposed to start awakening in youth. In other words, we're supposed to, from youth on, become used to the idea that there's a sage in the heart, there's wisdom inside us. And to me, that's helpful in terms of how do we get more elders. It goes back to working with youth, and it can be psychologically working with one's own youth. So the path for the older to the elder, I think, involves drawing wisdom and deep knowledge from things we've already experienced. When someone has a life-changing experience, even if it is when death moved through someone's life, a loved one dies, or something like that happens, inside the psyche, as I understand it, that moment, that occasion, that event, that wounding is still alive. It can still be learned from. And so there are these ways of embracing the struggles that we have had because they are kind of the alchemical material from which our own wisdom is trying to surface.